Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you are having a fantastic day. So, I'm ready to get ready for my next cruise and I thought, you know what, I'm going to tell you the 10 things I loved about the Majestic Princess and a couple things that I did not like as well. First off, the number one thing I loved on this ship was the food. Now, I did one specialty restaurant, and then I did a chef's table and a wine tasting table. So I did have some specialty restaurant food. But overall, on the Majestic Princess, the hamburger bar area was good. The buffet food was hot and fresh when I was eating there. The specialty restaurants were great. The noodle bar was really, really good, and the pizza was amazing. So yeah, all in all, I have to say top marks for the food on the Majestic Princess. Number two, one of the greatest things I love on the Princess ships, especially the Royal class, is that Princess Live. All the game shows, the trivia and everything that takes place in there. It's like a little movie studio and you can watch it the next day if you've been on and you wanted to see what you look like on camera. And the rest of the ship can look at it. So if your friends didn't see you there, they can see you and watch you live on the next morning on TV. So yeah, they play so many games. I get involved all the time. I sign up all the time and it's a great deal of fun. And it's probably one of the best settings I've ever seen on a cruise ship. I guess if we're going to talk about Princess Live, let's talk about the entertainment. The shows on board were really, really good. I mean, they must have had like the pick of the litter for the entertainers and the singers on board because they were top notch. Great dancers, great singers, and the two shows that we managed to see on board were really, really good. We also saw a comedian, one comedian. We saw an impersonator on the ship who was also really funny. And then we also had some individual entertainers came on board and did a show, and they were all great. So I enjoyed every show that I saw in the Princess Theater. So that's sometimes there's a hit and miss. I enjoyed all of them. Okay, on the Majestic Princess, you don't get this on any other Princess ship. Harmony Restaurant, which is a Chinese restaurant on board. The food was really, really good. It's only $29 to eat there for a specialty restaurant. Really good price, and the food was fantastic. So yeah, you don't get that on the Royal Princess or the Regal Princess, but you get it on the Majestic Princess. Another thing you don't get on the other ships, that noodle bar. The noodle bar up on the pool deck. Every day you have 3 choices, 1 specialty and 2 standard, and they change the specialty out every day, and they were so good. I went back multiple times during the cruise, and sometimes multiple times in the same day, because it was that good. And you get to choose all your own ingredients in it. Like they'll make a wonton, and then you could add bacon bits and scallions and a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, that noodle bar, I wish they would bring it to every Princess ship. Number 6, what I also loved on board is the lectures. We were in Alaska, so they had Alaskan experts on board. They talked about the history of Alaska. They talked about being, surviving in Alaska when you're out on an island all by yourself and how hard it is. They talked about the different nature that you're going to spot, when you're going to spot them. They let you know what the best times to look out for. They let us know about the Northern Lights possibility, and going into towns, they let us know about the history of the different towns as well. Lots of lectures. It was really good. They do this in the Panama Canal. They've done it on transatlantics. The lectures on board Princess are usually really informative and a lot of fun to listen to. Number 7, okay. You know how you have those horn wars between the different cruise ships and everything, but I mean, come on. Let's be real. Something just hits you when you hear the Love Boat theme played on a Princess cruise. I mean, come on, my childhood watching The Love Boat just flashes back with Gavin MacLeod, and yeah, he will be missed, but at least the Love Boat theme lives on. Number 8, the Medallion app. Now, some things don't work, and they don't work on the other cruise lines as well once in a while, but overall, the app worked really well during this cruise. I was able to log in, I was able to order food, I was able to arrange specialty dining, I was able to check my bill to make sure I had the proper things being charged to my account, I was able to order a drink and have it delivered to me wherever I was on the ship. It seemed to work very well. There are some design things that I thought were a little funky, but overall you can see what's happening during the day, you can see what was being served in the restaurants. The app worked very, very well, and yeah, I really like the medallion. I like the medallion fact that you don't have to wear a lanyard. You can wear like a wristband for your watch, and it'll open your stateroom door for you, and it's, you know, just here you go, here, click, and that's here, charge it to this, click, and it's done. When you walk up to order a drink, the bartender goes, "Hi Don, how are you?" because it shows up on their screen because I'm within a certain distance. So yeah, it made the cruise much easier, especially right now with all the restrictions that are going on out there. It just made things very, very easy. Number 9, I have to recommend this because I've probably had 7 different chef's table experiences from different cruise lines. And so far, Princess is still my number 1 chef's table experience. The way they do it, where they do it, the service that they give, the food menus, all have been top notch. Other places I've been to, they will have a chef's table, but it'll be just sitting it's a round table in the middle of the room and everyone's around you. In the chef's table on the Princess cruise ship, you in a round table in the restaurant, and then all of a sudden you're surrounded and closed off by these beautiful beads that fold around, and it's like a private little area for just you. Then you have the maitre d', and you have the chef showing up and talking about the dishes. And on other chef's tables, they'll have like 1 or 2 waiters come out and they'll serve everybody. On this one, you had 10 people at the table and you had 10 servers. Everybody had their own service, and they would walk around the table with the dinner like this. They'd hold it up there, and then on cue they would all place it down in front of you and lift it's like an experience. It's like you're dining in such first class amenities. And then you would have a toast from the maitre d', you would have wine pairings, and the food again was top notch. So yeah, Princess is still my favorite cruise line out there for chef's tables. Finally, number 10, things that I really liked on the cruise ships is, on the staff. The staff on board the Majestic Princess was amazing. From the bartenders, to the shops, to the stateroom attendants, to the cleaning staff I ran into, to the officers I ran into, to the people in the buffets, to the dining experience, to the entertainment staff, right down from the cruise director, Kevin, and all his staff. Everybody was extra nice, extra special, extra nice, always smiling, always helpful. They did whatever they can to make the cruise easier. And I know a lot of people, well, Don, you're on YouTube. They know who you are. And well, you know what? Kevin, the cruise director, might know who I am, but the person serving me dinner at the buffet doesn't know who I am. The person at the front desk doesn't know who I am. The person handling my luggage doesn't know who I am. And that experience was great. Everybody on the Majestic Princess was absolutely top notch. Okay, now a couple of things I did not like on the Majestic Princess. If you're a jogger and you like that jogging track, the Majestic Princess's jogging track is not great. It runs inside of the sports court. It gets really narrow at one point. It's very awkward to run around, like when you run into other people who are just walking and they're walking side by. It's not a good running track. I wish they would have designed the running track for joggers better than they did. Number 2, while the food was good in the buffet and the staff was friendly and everything was good that way, there wasn't as big a selection as there normally is. And I understand reduced passengers right now. They're only at 60% when we sailed. with capacity, and so they're limiting things. But I'm used to that buffet having a lot of choices, and there just seemed to be a much narrower amount of choice. The food that was there was good, but there was no taco night, Italian night, Cuban night. There was no specialty night area, and that's what I'm used to on the Royal class ships, so that was disappointing as well. Another thing, while the app in general works really well, on the app, when you're looking at it and you're trying to find out the activities for the day, you know when you get that piece of paper, it would list it by time, and you would just go up and down the time and see what's happening? Well, on the app, they have it like that, except the time goes sideways like this, and then they have from top to bottom what's happening. Well, the trouble is, so yeah, you know, they can have it on the top and then something way down the bottom, so you're scrolling like this up and down, and then you have to go all the way back up, move over to the next timeline like an hour later, and then do the exact same thing. I would have much rather just said, 9 o'clock, here's a list of everything happening, scroll down, 10 o'clock, scroll down, 11 o'clock. Would have been so much simpler, but they designed it this way. Not a big fan, much harder to look at than just a scrolling up and down of straight timelines. Finally, now this is nothing to do with the actual performers or the things going on in the ship. This is basically a COVID thing right now, so I just want you to be aware of it. Princess normally has about 4 shows that they will run on a cruise ship, like a Broadway show type thing. But because of the COVID restrictions and the extra staff they would need and the close contacts and everything, they're only doing 2, the easier shows to put on. So some of their better shows out there, like the Secret Silk, they're not doing because of COVID right now. Now they're hoping to do that starting at the end of October. So we can keep our fingers crossed that happens. But right now the shows were limited. They were good, but there's limited availability of the type, as well as things like magicians and that they're not doing right now because you can't, or if they do, it's very limited show because you can't bring people up on stage for COVID restrictions, etc. Same goes for game shows. A game show like that the audience would participate in and get together and all that isn't being done but unless it's very limited and they can space everybody out. So there's no like Family Feud going on right now where you can get all together, and it's just a little bit annoying that some of those things can't be going on, but that's a COVID restriction. I'm sure they'll come back the minute they're allowed to do it. But those are just some things you should watch out if you're going on the Majestic Princess right now that I didn't. So the app, the choice of food in the buffet, while good, just limited. And some of the entertainment things won't be there as much as some of the things you remember them being there from the past. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.